7 Days of Wisdom, Aquaus Kelley, Friday, May 24th, 2019. It is now 3:07 p.m. And the reason why I wanted to shoot this video is because I wanted to share my thoughts on an experience I had earlier today and how that relates to a phone call I just had with a client of mine. So earlier today, I was on a flight coming back from Buffalo, New York into Newark Airport, and while on the plane, I was reading The Power of Focus. So this book is written by Jack Canfield, Mark Victor Hansen, and Les Hewitt. And the reason why I got this book in the first place is because it was recommended to me by a good friend of mine, Thomas, and I figured I'll check it out. And now I'm at a current phase and state in my life where I want to really engage less in digital endeavors and social media and things that tend to distract most people, and really dig deep and get back to allowing myself to do things that are not tied to technology and not tied to being connected. So in a way, deliberately, I want to disconnect from the world just to put myself in a state where I can focus on learning without being connected. So one of the best ways to do that I believe, one of the best ways for me to do that is to just pick up a book. And it's something that I have to be mindful about and tell myself, like, listen, instead of being on the iPad, instead of being on my phone, instead of being on IG while traveling, while doing this, I'm going to just carry a book with me and use that time to absorb knowledge. So I have a bunch of books I've yet to read. I have a bunch of books I'm looking forward to reading. So if you see me around, walking through town or on a plane or in a car, in an Uber, reading, that's definitely intentional. It's something I want to make more time to do. So with that being said, while I was on the plane, I was reading a chapter about finding and focusing on the things we're good at. So essentially the title of the chapter on page 35 is called "It's Not Hocus Pocus, It's All About Focus." And opening up this chapter is a quote by Jim Rohn, and it goes, "Learn how to separate the majors and the minors. A lot of people don't do well simply because they major in minor things." So if you're a fan of motivational speakers or inspirational speakers or people who help to empower and motivate others to perform at their highest level, then I'm sure you've heard of that quote by Jim Rohn. I know I've heard of that quote while listening to YouTube videos, and it's always made a lot of sense. Let's not major in minor things. Let's spend less time and energy focusing on other people and what they're doing, and more time and energy focusing on what we need to do, and essentially what we need to focus on for ourselves. So while reading this chapter, they mention the importance of investing most of our time weekly, daily, into doing what we do best and letting others do what they do best. So as I'm reading this, and they give activities, and they want the reader to really map things out, write things down, and hold themselves accountable. Honestly, in my head, literally while I'm on a plane, I'm like, what do I do best? What am I really, really good at, right? And as I was on a plane, I couldn't think of it, So I'm just like, you know what? I'm not going to get it now, but it will come to me later, right? What I do best, what I feel I do best, what excites me, what's just natural for me, what flows for me, will come at a later date and time. I didn't know it would come this soon. I did not know that it would come the same day, hours later, but here it is. And it literally came through a phone call that I had with a client of mine, Indica Digital, which is ran by Tracy and Cal Stu. So while helping them to craft out some copy, some writing for their website, their mission, their vision, language, how they want their message to be delivered. Towards the end of the phone call, I literally thought to myself, like, wow, I'm pretty good at consulting. I'm pretty good at helping people to identify their message and how they're looking to articulate their message, their mission, their vision, and share that with the world around them. So when I have conversations with people, it always seems as though when we leave that conversation, when we leave that meeting, there's an extra spark. And people tend to be very grateful and express a lot of gratitude for the conversation that they've had with me. And towards the end of the conversation I had with Kaustub and Tracy, I can sense their sense of gratitude over the phone. Like, thank you. I appreciate your help and really helping me to think things out and put it down on paper and make it tangible. So I'm like, wow, I'm pretty good at consulting and using my experience and sharing my experience with others in a way that helps them think about their experience and how they can translate their experience to other people in the business world, across multiple industries. And it's something that in hindsight I look back on when it comes to my work in music, branding, A&R, education. I've always been good at synthesizing ideas. I've always been good at extracting information and then disseminating that information to share with others in meaningful and valuable ways. So yeah, I think I have it. I think that from here on out, me knowing where I am now, I know what I should be focusing on. I know what I need to be cultivating and developing. And through this, I hope to inspire you to identify and find what it is you're good at and what it is you need to cultivate and develop and what it is essentially we need to cultivate and develop as a community, because it's very important that we spend our time doing what we love and focusing on what we love and contributing to the world around us through using our skills and talents. So that's all I have to say right now. Aquaus Kelley, 7 Days of Wisdom, A Lover's Ambition. Peace.